Okay, so let's now look at how to write irresistible grant proposals. Okay, in this particular session, I want you to see the various ways that you can stand out because grant proposals are grants generally are competitive. Remember, I said that in the beginning, very competitive, and for you to stand out, you have to be able to abide by certain things that will make yours like stick out, like in the pool it sticks out. All right, it's very important that you attract and grab the attention of the reviewer and whoever is looking at your proposal at a particular time. So in this particular segment, I will go with you through the various areas, what you need to know, how to go about putting your proposal together, the things you need to consider when you're writing your proposal, and then how you are going to make your proposal irresistible to the funders. Okay. So basically, this here is the structure of a typical grant proposal. Now, for excuse me, for different applications, so you have a grant proposal that the funder will request for you to submit a proposal. Others will require you to do an application. It will be like an online application. You fill in the form and you submit. But regardless, this typically some require less of this, others require more of it. But a typical grant application has elements of all these things. So what I usually advise anybody looking to apply for grants and to win grants is to have a proposal ready ahead of any grant that you want to apply for. So you can edit it, you can tweak it to tailor it to a particular funder, but you have the basic concept or basic things about your proposal together. All right. So this is what you have typically in a grant proposal. You have the cover letter. Sometimes, other times, it does not require if you're doing an online application. You have an executive summary. This just gives you an idea at a glance how what your project is about, why you need the money, what exactly your business or NGO is all about, what exactly is the need, what's the problem, and is that your solution going to, what's the goal, and how are you going to monitor, is this sustainable? All the major things that you see in a proposal, you summarize it in your executive summary. And in the boot camp, in the grant writing boss boot camp, what I usually tell people is that you write your executive summary last. I always tell, because I review every proposal in the boot camp at the end. So we have two layers of proposal review. Because I believe in not just equipping you with information or knowledge, I want you to practice it. So what I typically do is that in the boot camp, after you learn everything about writing grants in detail, like all this broken down for you, you then go ahead and write it. You write it, you submit it. You be paired with someone who will review it and give you their feedback. You update and then you send to me. I will give you a more professional feedback. You have like two times that you can do this back and forth, and then you have the option of becoming a certified grant writer. But that is in its own case. But yes, the executive summary is the last thing. Hold the pressure of writing your executive summary first. I know even in business plan, we always write executive summary first. No, it's the last thing you write. That is when you will get an executive summary that's close to perfect. Then make sure your problem statement and your needs are clear. You go straight to the point. Use stories and narrative to tell your story. Give it a human element. Let people see the background of what you're talking about and paint the picture. Show you statistics and data. Let people see the scale of what the problem that is urgent and it needs to be solved now. Then your goals and objectives, please make sure they are smart, they are specific, they are measurable, they are achievable, they are um realistic. That means it's not ambiguous and vague. They are time bound. It has a time that you want. I want to do this by August 2026 or December 2026. It must have a time. The project design and implementation. How are you going to deliver this thing? Last, what's the design of this project? What is your implementation plan? How will you know what's the expected impact? What are the risks, and all those things are in the design, and you talking about all that your project will do to solve that problem you've identified. Then your monitoring and evaluation plan shows the funder that you have exactly. So in the monitoring and evaluation plan, you're going to be setting things like specific areas for all the things you expect, all these goals that you put down. How do you ensure that you achieve it? What will you use to measure it, and how do you track it? It gives confidence to the funder that I know this person. So for instance, you one of your goals is to for a school, for instance, you want to improve the financial literacy of grade 5 students by 20% in 2025, for instance. How do you measure this? How do you monitor? So you have to know the number of the students in grade 5 in that school. You have to have a way. What are you going to use to measure? What was it at ground zero? Now that you started, you need the money. What's the problem? The 20%, what does it look like? So all these things are very critical for you to have in your monitoring evaluation plan. And especially the higher the amount you are gunning for, the more stringent the requirements are. So all these things become very important. There are some applications that will take you just 5 minutes to fill. Others will take you 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to fill. You have your organization background. What are you about? And in this space, you have to spend time to prove that you are capable of delivering on that project. That if they give you this money, you will not lose. That's the saying we have in Nigeria. So pardon me for everyone that is not Nigerian, but you will not miss your way. You know that this person is uniquely qualified. The company is uniquely positioned to deliver. You must prove it. If you have awards, you have things, this is where you need to brag about it. All right. Budget and budget justification. Ensure that your budget is feasible, it is realistic, and it is aligned. But yes, your budget is part of what your grant proposal looks like. It's like a monetary expression of all you have written. Okay. And then your sustainability plan, very important. How will your business stand the test of time? Preparing to write, before you write any grant proposal, conduct your research, find out about your funder, engage stakeholders, your partners, people that will you will need their input. If you're going to partner with anybody for a project, or you have partners, or you have people that you need to deliver on anything, make sure get them on board. Get all your invoices, get everything ready. Develop a strong outline how you will attend to this particular proposal. Get your documents and requirements ready. So every opportunity will have its own requirements. It will have its own documentation required. Go through it and get ready. Create a checklist with all of this so that as you apply, you tick, you don't miss anything. Trust me, it's so easy for you to miss something, and at the end, you will regret. And please, whatever you do, make sure all these things help you stay on time. Don't, please, anything you are doing about grants, make sure you don't apply the last day, because you're under pressure, you won't give it your best. I know, I have been a grant writer for 8 years. I know. Please make sure you give yourself sufficient time for your application to give it your best shot. Writing compelling proposals, ensure aligned again. Ensure your project is aligned to the funders. Make sure you craft very strong problem statements or need statements. Set clear, achievable goals and objectives. You have to be smart. I already mentioned that. Design a detailed project plan. Develop a robust monitoring and evaluation plan. Present realistic and cost-effective budget. Don't go and shoot yourself in the foot because you want to take the whole $10,000. You go and put your budget that no, it's too. Remember, you're not the only one applying. There are some people that have applied that are doing your kind of project in your country and their own budget is different. So please, they know, they can find out. So please ensure you present realistic and cost-effective budget. Review and polish your proposal before submission. It will be terrible that after all the hard work, you have done everything, and it's because of grammatical errors. You did not review. Maybe the thing was just jumping. The font sizes are not the same, or maybe you couldn't even express yourself well. I always tell people in the boot camp, if I finish writing a proposal and a 10-year-old cannot understand, I have failed. I will go back and rewrite. It has to be so easy to understand and so straight to the point and concise for you to at least know that you are very clear and you are communicating well. These are common pitfalls to avoid. Vague problem statements, you are talking general. No, go straight to the point. Don't talk about Nigeria, Kenya, United States. No, in that one you want to do, you're not solving everybody's problem. How can you target 200 million people? You are targeting what you want the money for and what your project is about. If for like maybe 5,000, 1,000, 10,000, 100, go specific to that. Talk about the problem for just those group of people. Unrealistic goals and budgets, ignoring funders' priorities is not aligned. You are just busy applying. You will not get it, no matter how passionate you are, and no matter how you package it, you will not get it. Lack of clarity and coherence. Exactly. Make sure you are straight to the point. It's not confusing. Avoid the use of jargon. Make sure your writing is organized. Again, A 10-year old should be able to understand it. Now, let's go to how you can earn like a boss with grant writing. This is my favorite part.